and then they spoil the whole plot, and I'm like, no, wait, I was gonna watch that eventually.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Hypey, and
Innovate.
it's your boys again with another Idle Podcast episode. Fun fact: I saved like everything. I forgot to tell you this. I saved everything for like episode 6 and title for the previous one. It's only
Mhm.
episode 5, so now we're doing episode 6. Surely that won't confuse me later, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anyways, what are we gonna talk about today?
Today the question is, are you scared of fame?
Ooh.
And I think okay, so the reason this conversation is even being brought up, right, is because I think I understand how to work the algorithm. I feel like I understand how to grow kind of thing in general. But I think a lot of the reasons that I sometimes get to a certain point on an account or growing a social account, from my personal right,
Mhm.
I lose interest, I think, because there is a small part of my brain that says you don't want to be famous. Like you don't want people to message you and stuff like that. You don't want people to talk to you. You don't want people to have a parasocial relationship with you because when I was streaming myself doing a rip and ship, which is basically you open Pokemon packs and then you send them out, you ship them out to people.
Uh-huh.
There was pros and cons, or like I genuinely felt like people were creating a parasocial relationship with me where the weird part about this, by the way, is that these people watch you for hours, right?
Yeah.
I think I was streaming like 3 hours a day. And what was crazy is that these people would just like watch you, think, you would tell them your story, but you really wouldn't hear their story. You wouldn't really understand who they are. But then I had a Discord. I still have it, right? But they would just message me and tell me, "Hey, what are you up to, man? Like, hey, what are
Oh
you
yeah.
doing?" and stuff like that. So it's really interesting because like they know who I am to such a degree, right? Where think about the amount of time in their brains that they have spent with me. In reality, they have spent with me 20 plus hours of hanging out with me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but like for me, my interaction with them is a lot smaller because I'm only really reading their messages like when they're sending it through at the live and stuff like that. So I don't really know this person as much
Mhm.
as they know me. So that's where like the imbalance of the parasocial relationship comes in, where like I feel like it's weird. Like I said, there's pros and cons. Like it's fun. Like it really is fun. Like because you feel like you're heard. You feel like it's fun to talk to people, just random strangers that can interact with your story.
Mhm.
And that like to me is really fun because you can tell them, hey, what do you guys think about this? And then they'll tell you like, hey, that's kind of stupid or like that's kind of funny, right? So like they get
Yeah.
to judge you, and because of that, right, like that those long hours, 40 plus hours, 50 hours, 100 hours of however much time they end up spending with you, and then you're just a dude. Like for me, right? Like
Just a
I
dude.
feel like I'm not narcissistic enough. I think that's probably what it is. I think if I was more
Oh.
narcissistic, I would have delved further. I would have been like, yeah, and stuff like that, or
Right.
like kind of like push the been more like that. I think I'm also introverted enough that I like just s- you know indulging in my own time or indulging with like just staying at home. I don't really go out or go to bars and stuff like that. I'm a very stay at home kind of individual.
Yeah.
So I have a bachelor's in business marketing, so I like marketing, and then I have a master's in business administration, so I like business. And to be completely honest, the reason we're making this podcast is because I need money. I'm gonna be completely honest with
What
you guys.
the hell?
I need money, and making a podcast is easy. But we're episode 6. We have 20 views, by the way. No one's watching this shit, and even then, this part of my brain is telling me if people start watching this, are you gonna be happy? Because that means people are gonna know you, right?
Yeah.
So there's fears and stuff like that, and I always worry about being famous because I feel like a part of me doesn't want to. But
Dude,
it,
I've
it,
I've always struggled in the aspect. where like sometimes it's one of those things where it's like it'd be cool. Maybe you daydream about it one time. You're like, for example, like me, I think I'm sick as fucking games, right? And I'm like, I think it's a crime. I think it's a crime that no one knows how crazy I can go at it, right? But
Yeah.
but I have streamed myself play a detective game two occasions, specifically Danganronpa and Phoenix Wright
Okay.
attorney game. Dude, in a puzzle situation, I have no idea what's happening. I have like three people in my Twitch chat roasting the shit out of me. And I'm just like, damn, dude, y'all are kind of mean. And I'm just kind of like, I'm like, imagine if I was famous though. Everyone would
Dude.
have fucking roasted me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like that
You'd be
feeling,
scrolling. Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't acknowledge that a lot of these streamers doom scroll, right? So imagine doom scrolling and seeing like a clip of yourself, and you're like, brother, like,
dude, dude, it's funny because like even in the past, like with VODs and such, right? Like watching my own clip or watching like something I
mm.
was recorded in, I'll watch it and I'm like, dude, I'm so funny. Or I'm like, dude, I'm so amazing, right? But then there's obviously the content where I'm like, oh dude, I forgot I did that. Or like, oh, that was pretty bad. And then someone's gonna use that against me in the future.
I already did that, by the way. In literally right now when we're making shorts, I listen to it and I'm just like, oh, that's embarrassing.
Y-
Oh no, you know. But like
Yeah,
it's already happening for me. But I I was listening to another podcast or a YouTuber, right? And they were business heavy of a YouTuber. To summarize it, right? They acknowledged that the best way to increase your potential income in life is to be known and is to be famous. And a good example would be something small like books, right? So let's say you want to write your own book or publish your own book, right? That's a smaller medium, I would say. Obviously, it's $1 billion medium, but like I'm just saying, in the sense of like there's videos, there's shorts, there's etc. Right?
right.
Movies and stuff like that. So books is kind of like the first level of that when you're publishing something that is a creative piece that is genuinely just, something that you crafted before anything, right? Anyways, the point is, if you want to sell a lot of books, who do you think is gonna sell more books? The one that writes a shitty book but has 1 million Instagram followers, or the one that writes a great best book ever and has 10 followers on Instagram?
Yeah, and like that's a good point too
It's just the
because
reality of it.
sometimes they even start their business based off of their support, right? Like once they
Yeah,
see that they have like a lot of following, they're kind of
yeah,
like, dude, I feel like I can write this. Some people might be interested,
yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
and you know it's true. It's true. Like even if it's not the greatest thing written, right? Like you
Yeah,
still have people who support
and it's
backing
gonna
up.
be a bestseller. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part
yeah.
about it.
Some people like people with followings sometimes don't realize that they have this charismatic thing to them where like they might do something and the person who follows them might not even bat an eye. Like they're like, dude, that guy is really funny. And then they're like, did you hear about this? And they're like, no, but I did see his stream the other day and that was cool. Like you know what I mean? Like the aspect feels like they just grown so attached to you that they just have like these rose colored glasses over you and they're just like
That's fair,
this person's
yeah.
great. Like, you know? But
And there was there was like a study or something of the sort where they mentioned that the people that have the largest impact in changing a consumer's perspective are is actually streamers. And the reason that a streamer has that much power over a consumer, I know I'm talking in such a business way, I'm sorry, but the reason like is because the level of parasocial relationship for a streamer is so much higher because the level of engagement as a viewer that you have with the streamer is so much higher because commenting or sending a donation or anything, right? The streamer in that moment can reply to you.
yeah,
As to the other hand of, commenting on a YouTube video and then just having like worded text reply is very different than someone, hey, Bob, Thank you for the 5 subs, bro. No, I really, and they'll see you. It was your birthday. Hey, Bob. Happy birthday, Bob. So notice how big of a difference that is than reading Bob reads, right? Like, happy birthday, Bob. Hey, thanks, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's very different. And I think that's why um a- viewers, right, are more likely to get that's why sponsorships, right, want to do work with live creators because the level of parasocial and the level of like, hey, download this app,
Yeah.
guys, is so much easier than just watching a YouTube video.
And and like it also goes to a thing where there comes a certain point where when you're rising in like fame and popularity that you start realizing that you are kind of like an entertainment source. And what I mean by that is like it's so easy for me to go into a friend stream right now and be like, "Hey, how you doing? This and that," right? And I'm like,
Okay.
this is my friend's opinion and such. But once
Mhm,
they have like such a good following and like, there's like more to them,
mhm.
it's kind of like someone is here because they're here to watch their show, not to
Uh-huh.
like necessarily see their friend. And the as
That's true.
and the
Yeah.
aspect just becomes like a dude, this show is ass right now. I'm like, I hate this guy, right? Or like, like cause when you go like when you go south, like the people who are watching are gonna go south. Like in a negative sense where like they're like, dude, you used to be so much funnier, or like, man, you used to play, like you used to stream this game, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that aspect is something that I feel like the person who's gaining popularity might lose along the way, because like later on they're just like, dude, I'm just like you guys. And I'm like, dude, don't get me wrong, you have 10K following, I got like 10 followers on Twitter, we are not the same. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
and
different.
and organic followers like on Twitter is like crazy because imagine like getting 10,000 organic followers on Twitter. So then every time you type something on Twitter, now people are like, haha, funny, or like they'll react or like they'll say something stupid. But it's crazy when you become a micro celebrity like that. Because
Mhm.
like right now, I looked up the word podcast. I know it's so funny that there's like a podcast with 4 million subs. I don't even know who that guy is, right? Like, and it's crazy that like everybody is basically a micro celebrity unless you're um on old school TV, basically,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Crazy to think.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. And like before, it felt like it was pretty obvious that you would see someone like, oh, you're friends with someone who's famous, you're
Yeah,
probably gonna be
right.
next in line. But nowadays it feels like there's always like that splash of like, hey, we have the spotlight on you. The 30 seconds of fame, I think, is what people usually refer
It's
to.
easy. It's a lot easier, and it's more common now for people to get those 30 seconds of fame. And
Yeah.
it's now in reference to I made a video that got 100,000 views, right? And what was weird is that I think this is what the part where I realized I wasn't craving it, right? Afterwards. And I think when you're not craving the views or like after that, like it's one of those things where I saw every video as like its own piece, but I didn't see it as like, oh, like I gotta get 100,000. Oh, I gotta get a hundred
Oh,
thousand
right.
again. But I think not having that desire, like not having that, like I gotta do that, I gotta do it, right, kind of thing, made me realize that I didn't at the time, right? I didn't really care to grow like the YouTube channel. I just wanted to do it because it was like fun to some extent. I think that's more of why I was doing it than I was doing views. Because like getting like 500 views on like something I liked is more exciting to me than getting 100,000 views on just the video that I took me an hour to make, just a commentary or like it's just an opinion piece, right?
Right.
So I, I'm pretty sure writers or artists feel this way, where like they make a movie and then they're like, I hate it, and then their movie incredibly famous, and then now everybody like knows them for that movie, kind of thing. So like
Mhm.
imagine like that sense, right? Where like you sign up for a movie, you film it, you direct it, and you're like, actually, I kind of hated it.
Actually, this was kind of horrible.
Yeah, and it like, can you imagine like the tortured like soul of someone like that, where now everybody and their mom is like, bro, that was so cool. Now you can also flip the script where there's a lot of, this is me throwing shade at specific like voice actors, but voice actors that like voice acted, or actors that acted like one role, and then now they do every Comic Con or something of like doing like, I did
Oh
this one
yeah.
role 30 years ago, so
Hey, sometimes that one roll is all they need. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So that's like the opposite of
That's
that, where
true
like
though.
someone hated one piece of media that they get remembered for, and others are people that love that one medium that.
Yeah, like uh I was gonna no, what was the previous thing you had said? Not about that example, the other example?
I forgot.
No. Damn, I had something to go off of it. It was when you have one person. I have a video, right, that
Okay.
has 300 views. At the
Okay.
time, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my God, this is the most views I've ever had in a video. I'm
Uh-huh.
so happy about it. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? You
Mhm.
know, how can I improve?" I made a video, I worked really hard, and I actually really liked the time I spent on it. I think I spent like 3 total whole days, and I think I spent most of the day like editing. It's not
Okay.
like well too edited, but like for me, it
Uh-huh.
was a lot, you know?
Okay.
And like I love that video. When I published it, I was like, "Oh my God, there it goes. Let's see how it does." And it got like 60 views, and in my
Uh-huh.
head, I was like, that's so sick. I'm so happy you got 60. You know what I mean? Because at first it
Yeah.
was like 10. I was like, "Oh, dude, we flopped this
That's so
hard."
funny.
Meanwhile the 300 view channel, like I made it from content I like doing, right? And
Uh-huh.
it took me like 2 hours to make it. It was just like rough cuts and such.
Yeah.
But like the 60 view, that was my baby. That's my child. I was very happy.
That's
You
so
know?
funny. I don't know what it is about, hopefully, like, long term, we're able to, like, make the podcast all, like, in the same room, but what do you like about podcast? I feel like I've been ranting more than you have this episode. What do you like about the idea of, like, making a podcast? Because 'Cause you're dedicated. I've never seen you this dedicated on something, and you're like, "You know what? Episode 6, I'm down. I'm here for it." It's 1 AM, by the way, and we're still recording this.
You had to call me out like that. That's so crazy. I've never seen you actually go progressive towards anything you do. Like that's so insane. He's like,
Uh,
we're 6 episodes in deep, and he agreed to do this. I will say, I was actually bringing this up to my friend earlier today, that I think the thought process of like, hey, it's okay. Sometimes, just get content out of the way. Like,
mhm.
like I've always wanted to do a podcast, but I've always worried, like, how would it be done and this, right? But then you were just like, oh, just post them, right? And it's
Yeah.
been such an easy task that now I'm like, well, what if I sprinkle this? Or what if I add this?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? And
I
like,
think it's because of how it's designed, like, what a podcast is designed.
yeah. And like it's so much easier to get into that mindset where it's okay as long as like if you want to produce content, like you could just produce content. So something I've never do is like on my own channel, I've never really like posted in a long time. But after posting all these, I started recording like B-reel for this like previous game, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna voice over it. I'm gonna upload it later.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hilarious, right? But like the motivation and the fact that I went to like Adobe to already like put the clips in and such, I would never do that. You know what I mean? If anything, I
It's
would
like
open
a
up.
snowball, right? Like, or like a snowball effect, right? Is what they call it, or
Yeah,
an
yeah.
avalanche effect.
Yeah, like at first, like I just put the clips and I'm like, maybe I'll close it or work on it later. But then now I'm just like, oh, dude, I need to work on this, or oh, I need to do that.
Yeah.
And then like maybe you even go so far to where you're like, let me make an Instagram page about it, right? And Instagram
Yeah.
is like, hey, put your verification code, and you try it like 3 times and it doesn't work, and you're just so confused because I barely made the account. What do you mean this is my first time signing in this device? I would hope so. I just made the account. Like
I'm sorry.
something specific like that.
Something specific. That's exciting. I think it's crazy though that we have 20 views, and I am so excited to like record another one, by the way. And I think it's because one of those things where like one person watched our last episode for 10 minutes. And that's exciting to me, by the
Yeah,
way. I
yeah,
was
yeah.
just like, let's go.
You know,
Woo!
in a double-edged sword, I think to myself, I'm like, you think it's interesting how they were so committed, and then somewhere in the 15-minute mark, they're like, oh my God, I don't agree with that. I
No,
don't agree with that.
no, why would you put this idea in
Yeah,
my head,
but
bro?
it's just it like not going through the whole video, like realistically, like sometimes, especially for like a video that's more than 10 minutes, people have to go or they have to do something,
Yeah,
you
that
know.
the why did you think about it
Yeah, yeah,
like
but
that?
it's just so much funnier to be like they're listening and they're like, damn, this is nah. They didn't just say pauses it like we're chill, we're chill.
Okay,
I'm
whoa,
gonna head
whoa,
out.
Hypey, how many videos do you actually complete on YouTube? Because I will admit, there's a ton of videos that I will watch for 10 minutes, forget about it, and never come back to it until like years later. And I'm like, oh yeah, I started this video and I never finished it.
I
You
gotta be
don't do
honest.
that?
I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. I am a completionist. All right? When I
Hypey,
start
you're
something,
crazy.
I'm
Like
a hundred
we
percent doing it. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no one watches videos in full, bro. What? Like
I do. Dude, I
you're
watch
like
okay,
100% guys.
okay. Well, let me be more clear, but I do like if you look at my history for my main feed, it's like
Okay,
30 to an hour length videos. I watch them
okay.
all the time to completion. However, I put it on 2x speed, so these videos are just 15 to 30 minutes long. If you think about it that way.
Okay, I started watching I think this year or probably the last 3 months. I started
Mhm.
watching videos at 2x speed, which is crazy.
Sorry to hear
But
that.
like now sometimes I think it just depends on the edits. If it's heavily edited,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't I just watch it in regular.
For
Like
sure,
Mr.
for
Beast
sure.
videos, I cannot watch it at 2x speed. Like there's just too much information like on a Mr. Beast video. But like a lot of content 2x speed.
You you ever think it's really funny? Because I've thought of the idea of like someone eventually is gonna watch your videos 2x speed or 1.5x.
Mhm.
You ever just like try to speed up where you're talking to just to see where they're jumbling like right there in the video because they put 2x speed like and then they're like right now they go back and they're just like whoa
What did he
chill
say?
yeah chill.
That's so funny.
But I I've thought of that because a lot of people naturally like it the speed we go is pretty normal in conversation based. But if you're
Yeah.
an outsider listening, sometimes you're like, "Oh my God, get on to the point." I have a friend, really random rant. I have a friend who watched JoJo's, and anytime it wasn't a fighting scene, he just skipped the scene. And he was like, "Let's get over it. Oh my God." And then when I asked him, I was like, "How could you do that?" Right? He was like there's no 2x on mobile, so I can't do it. Right? This by the way, this was like in 2018, right?
Dude,
So they
okay.
probably have that media
I will
technology now.
admit, I watched One Piece at 2x or sometimes even 3x speed.
Uh,
And I'm gonna be honest, it was still decent. I would say still like an 8 out of 10, but everybody likes to say higher than that.
you're sick in the head.
Bro, look, One Piece is good, but I think a lot of people are confusing good with nostalgia good. A lot of people view it as nostalgia good and they don't realize it.
Is it nostalgia good if the popularity in the show has rise from the past 2 years?
Yes.
Wait, really?
Yes,
Wait,
it's
actually?
nostalgia good. Yes.
How?
Oh my god, I used to watch One Piece when I was younger. Oh my god, there's this new thing.
No, 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 no. What if they
I
haven't watched
can't
it though?
wait.
Cause
That's what I'm saying. No, no, no,
oh,
no.
okay, okay.
That's
Am I
what I'm saying.
misunderstanding? Let me see.
They're like 100 episodes in, and then they stopped when they were like 12, when they were 15, when they were
Quitters.
16, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they see this new, oh, Gear 5. What? This isn't a spoiler because it happened like a year ago. Gear 5.
Is that like the thread for spoilers in the podcast? Like as long as it's happened within the year?
Within the year, I think actually within 6 months. Like I can spoil Fantastic Four at this.
Do not
honestly.
spoil Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, guys, this is what
I'm gonna what the
I
long
think 3 months or 6 months. What do you think? What do you think is a spoiler for like what's a spoiler mark? I think it's funny, super random. I think it's funny that sometimes there's things that I haven't seen and it's been like decades that it's been out. Like literally like 5 years, a decade or such. And I'm watching something and then they spoil the whole plot. And I'm like, no, wait, I was gonna watch that eventually. And I'm just and it's like 5 years old or like 10 years old. I'm like, no, why'd you tell
it
me?
it'll be so random. You're watching Death Note for the first time. You've never seen Death Note media in your like in your
Yeah.
pages and anything, and then randomly it'll be like, dude, the one time in anime where L tricked this person, and it's like the biggest scene of the show, and you're just like, dude, no way, no way, this is the first thing I see, and it's something I haven't seen
Yeah.
yet. I was about to get there. You see it later on in the TV, and you're just like, dude, that was the exact scene. I saw this
The
already.
internet has no spoiler shame, but as long as you avoid that like topic, I think it's really easy to avoid the spoiler. But for Demon Slayer, I went to go watch it early in theaters because there's certain things like the Demon Slayer movie where I want to get spoiled, so I might as well just go watch it.
Yeah. Well,
They're like Fantastic Four, didn't want to get spoiled. I'm gonna go watch it. What else? The Endgame movie, I think I went and watched it alone. Badass. There's a lot of shit that I like.
are you implying that you watched the
What?
other movies with someone else?
Yeah, I did watch
Okay, cool.
the one before Endgame. I forgot what it was called.
The one before Endgame?
The Avengers
Civil War?
something. No, after that, I forgot it. You see, that one wasn't good enough apparently.
Ah, good answer, good answer.
But yeah, what do you think? I think that was long enough. Did we rant long enough? How much time are we in? 30 minutes?
Yeah, we're like around there. Well,
You want to call it?
hold on, hold on,
What?
hold on.
Unless you wanted to say something.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Holding.
I don't know the period for a spoiler. I'd probably say,
I want
dude,
to say 3 months, bro. Like 3 months is fair. Like you have 3 months to watch it. Like 3 months, it's already on Disney Plus. Let's be honest. Come on.
if it's on Disney Plus, we can already talk about it.
I think that's fair. Yeah. If it's on Disney, but like it's really funny that the worse the movie does in theaters, the faster it Plus too.
Oh, that's fair. Like when a
That's
movie
really funny.
bombed, when you're like next
Elio,
week,
the
it's like
Elio movie. I haven't even seen it. I just don't give a shit.
it's already there.
Yeah, it's already on Disney Plus. It just did not do good in theaters at all.
Yeah.
Like no one went to watch it. And the Thunderbolts took a long time to come back to be added to Disney Plus, and I think Fantastic Four same thing. Like the Thunderbolts came out before Elio, and Elio came out after, but Elio I think got released literally I think 2 or 3 weeks after
I
the Thunderbolts
I feel like
movie
I'm
got
losing my mind. I have not heard about any of these movies.
Thunderbolts, the Marvel movie.
No, I haven't heard it. That's crazy. Is it good?
That's crazy. I feel like it's just average, but people liked it a lot. I'm gonna be honest.
All right, all right.
I thought it was I like
Oh,
it's
here we go.
hard. Now we're gonna talk about Marvel, right? I thought we
Yeah.
were gonna call it. Okay, so I would want to do a whole podcast on it, but just to summarize right now, real quick, the issue with Marvel is that they've put themselves in a situation where they keep writing characters that are too strong for their own good and they
Mm-hmm.
ruin the literary capabilities that they can write with them. So in this case for Thunderbolts, which I'm going to spoil because it's been on Disney Plus, so I'm telling you right now in case you're still, I'm going to spoil Thunderbolts. You don't care, right, Hypey?
I don't care. I
But
don't care.
you don't care. Okay. So for Thunderbolts, the main villain is just a fight within himself because he's too powerful, right? But
Mhm.
it's just not exciting. Like it just like, oh look, like when you feel like you know the ending before the endings happen, like there's no stakes. If you're like an adult, there's no stakes. If you're a kid, maybe there's some stakes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no, what's gonna happen? And it's just like when you're an adult and the stakes have already been laid out to you and it's an obvious resolution,
Mm-hmm.
you're just not that intrigued with it. Like you're not following it. And a good example of one way where like the resolution is very like unorthodox
Mm-hmm.
is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Do you remember that movie?
Uh-huh.
The one where they're going back in time or they're traveling between universes and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you don't remember. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a fight within the character's inner self, right? As
Mm-hmm.
well. So like who the character is. It's a fight of like, oh, like who should I be? What type of person do I want to be, right?
Yeah.
But what's exciting about that movie is that you do not know what the resolution is. You do not know how it's going to be resolved. You don't know who if this person is going to end up being good, bad, devilish, uh angelic, right? Like there's no clear indicator that says, "Oh, this is who this character is going to end up as."
Yeah.
I think the issue with Marvel is that they're too much good. Like the ending just has to be good, and I think they haven't really liked leaving that situation. So when you're watching a Marvel or hero movie, right? They don't sway away from the possibility of there being something that would make someone sad to watch.
Yeah.
So there's no like when I watch a Marvel movie, I don't leave it still feeling like, wow, that was sad. Like that was like heartbreaking, you know? And I think that's where they're writing themselves into a corner because they want to leave everything into like a good position or a good feeling. Like they want people to leave the theaters watching a Marvel movie feeling happy or good or satisfied, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it just like, have you seen Moon Knight? I love Moon Knight, by the way.
Dude,
Have you seen Moon Knight?
I need you to know I do not watch any movies. Like
No,
zero.
It's a Marvel show.
Oh, I haven't seen the show.
Okay. I'm not gonna talk about it because I am that is gonna be one of my recommendations. People did not watch Moon Knight
Hmm.
because they said it was like, oh, it's mid and stuff like that. It's not a perfect show, but it is a better writing of a fight within themselves. I forgot what the man versus self,
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
is the
yeah,
way
yeah,
that
yeah.
it's
The
the
storyline.
format. Yeah, the
Yeah.
format. Man versus self, Moon Knight is so good. And it wasn't because it was a fight of like, oh, who's he gonna be? Obviously, he was still gonna be good. Bummer,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Classic Marvel.
Yeah.
But I think the way it was written was more enthusiastic for me. It's not a perfect show. I would still give it an 8 out of 10. I would, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But I think it's great to watch because you're like, wow, that felt different than what Marvel generally is. And I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm looking for now from Marvel of like, can you do something different? The Miss Marvel movie or the Miss Marvel Disney show, don't watch it. I didn't like
Yeah.
it at all.
That's crazy. Now, I was gonna mention with like all the shows and all the movies and all the series, right?
The
Like,
3 shows, yeah.
yeah, like
Loki was good. Oh man, you remember?
oh, funny enough, I did watch Loki.
Did you watch
'Cause
all
I heard
seasons of it?
all good it was. The first two? Was there a
I
third one?
think there was 3. I don't
If there
remember
was a third
actually. You're
one, I
making me
haven't
realize.
seen it. My
I
bad.
don't remember how many seasons, but I did watch the whole thing. I will say Loki is again another. I think Marvel likes to do this, right? But it's another man versus self because it's the question of who is Loki. From the very first episode, that's the question of like who is Loki, and the reason I think people liked it is because it was a better version of that for Marvel.
I
And I would give
also
9 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10
I
for
was gonna
Loki.
mention that also like the aspect is also just so hard because I think like the expectation versus of like what it's actually going to be needs to be
Mhm.
like just far enough to where it's entertaining to watch, because just like how you're bringing up earlier, like if it's an aspect that we kind of know where it's going, we can kind of tell what's going to happen, we're kind of like okay, like just get there. But if it's an
Yeah,
aspect
it
where
is.
I'm like, hold on, what is this even going to lead to? You know, you start getting up in your
Yeah.
chair, you start questioning such, and like and then like whether it be a crazy plot twist or a new character or like new development in the story, it catches you off guard. That feeling alone will carry on a moment so much. Like
So what I think Loki does better than Thunderbolts. Again, I'm gonna spoil Thunderbolts. I apologize. So what I think
We're just
Loki
gonna
does
put like
better than
a
Thunderbolts.
Marvel spoiler caption in the
I'm not
halfway
gonna spoil
mark.
Loki, but I'm gonna spoil Thunderbolts because of how I'm gonna explain it. But Loki basically sets up a premise of like, hey, this is the dangers, this is the possibilities of what can possibly happen. So that leaves it very open to interpretation of how the finale can be, right? The end of season 1 of Loki was a sad ending. Fuck yes. I'm sorry. Hell yes. Like, but the ending, like how Thunderbolts was written, there wasn't the issue with it is that they don't set you up for a premise of what the worst case scenario is. While they thought they did, it wasn't done in a way that was like, wow, I wonder what's gonna happen. It basically was like the end of the world or the end of the like a whole city, and you're like, wow, I wonder what happened, right? It's just like,
Hmm.
I think what a lot of writers need to learn is that the stakes are the people, not the city, not the world, bro. Like leave the world, leave the city. Like it just doesn't
We don't
matter.
gaff
Like
about
you
the
can't,
city.
dude. If you tell me the whole city is gonna blow up,
We'll move to another city. Good
like
answer. Good answer.
what is gonna happen to the city? If you tell me this person is in danger, I'm gonna believe you. Holy shit, this person's in danger, right? So like it like um think about it like this. If Marvel made a movie and they said the wife of this character is in danger. Holy shit, she's in danger. She has been captured. Okay.
Okay.
Now let me give you a different premise.
Okay.
This city has been captured and is in danger. Which one do you care about?
You can always fix a city. You can't fix a dead person. That's so
Exactly. Yeah.
true. They're irreplaceable. It's
Yeah.
irreplaceable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, dude, what's her name? Like, you telling me like you telling me if like this, you name the person. They can have a civilian. It could
Yeah.
be like,
It
it,
can literally be a civilian.
yeah,
Hey, Bob is in danger. Oh my God, we have to save Bob. Bob is at the top of the Empire State Building, and if no one saves Bob, it's like, oh no,
dude,
Bob.
if you don't understand, okay, Bob is like the mayor of the city, and he was
Yeah,
finally
or
gonna
something.
push greatness. But the villain of the movie hates Bob and his ideals. He's trying to kill him.
People have to be the stakes. And I think Loki's stakes, even though it was just super funny, by the way, the stakes of Loki are insanely massive. The universe is literally at stake in Loki. And the crazy part is that because the premise is set that I think it's like six people are in danger, you care. That's
Mhm.
it. Like that's the only reason because the six people are in danger, you care. Because it's not constantly telling you the universe, the universe. It's more like this six people are in danger and it's up to them to solve the problem or they themselves are in danger, etc.
If
Right? S-
if we care about someone but not the city, how far does it have to go before we care? Because obviously the universe we care, right?
Okay, what's really interesting, have you seen Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, I've seen Spider-Man.
The from the Toby Maguire one?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Toby, that one, I don't think it's Maguire. Is that his last name? I
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah, yeah, it's Maguire.
Um,
Bully Maguire.
I literally have not forgotten about that movie. It's like one of my most memorable because the stakes are the city, but it's the person's decisions that will solve the problem of the city. But it's really interesting, right? Because I think it's how it's presented as well. So what happens is that they give us the premise. It's a 15-year-old movie. I'm going to spoil it.
Yeah.
In the beginning, the sun or they're creating like a source of power, which is the sun, it kills people, right?
Okay.
And then
The power of
they
the sun in the palm of
scale
my
it up.
hands. Yep.
And yeah. So notice that how this is similar to how Loki did it, right? This is the premise. This is the capabilities of this thing that can cause danger. And then let's scale it up. It's basically like level 2. and then level 5, right? As an example of like how like you're scaling up danger. So like it's not just like the city's in danger, okay? But like how did we get there?
Save them.
So the going from like level 1, right, or like level 2 to level 5, and then Dr. Octavius, is it Octavius or Dr. Octopus?
Both are
I
right.
don't remember. I think it's both,
Both are
right?
right. Yeah, I think both are right.
Dr. Octavius is being shown that he has to make the decision to
Yeah.
save the city. But outside of that, you're also seeing the cars and everything getting pulled towards it. But the only reason it matters to you is because you've seen the previous scene of people dying to this thing, right? So
Hmm.
now you see the stakes of it. So that's why you're like involved or you're engaged and you're like, oh my God. But at the same time, the stakes are the people because Spider Man can die, Mary Jane can die, and Dr. Octavius can die because they're right there, right? But Dr. Octavius dying was absolute peak because he's like, I do not want to be a monster, bro. Absolute peak, bro.
I I will say
10 out of 10.
I will say
One of the
that keep forgetting. Today's a tough episode. I was gonna say that like when you see the Death Killing Machine, like that's the name. For some reason we call it that. The name of the machine is Death Killing Machine. It's killed no one. I'm kind of like, I mean, I know it says Death Killing
Oh,
Machine, but I haven't
no, you're
seen
right.
it.
You're so right. Like
Yeah.
death killing machine, but it's never killed anyone on screen
Hmm.
or like it's never been shown to you how it would kill people. And then
Like
you're like, yeah.
like don't get me wrong, Death Killing Machine, I'm a little nervous. But when I hear that the kill count of it is 0, I'm like, "Oh, it must be avoidable." Right? And then when I use this Death Killing Machine against the city, you guys are cooked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the machine
Yeah.
that has 0 kills, yeah, good luck, buddy. I don't even know what that does. I don't even know how it looks like. But then
Dude.
but then you show it to me, Death Killing Machine has like 10 kills. I'm like, "Dude, there's a Death Killing Machine over there. We got to
Yeah.
do something about it."
And something that I think a lot of writers don't do, which is super easy to do, is that you have to do that build up, not, hey, here's the death killing machine. Let me show you. And it's like, okay, you can't just show me something within 5 minutes and then make me like be like, oh yeah, that's this thing, right? The build up makes the viewer more engaged and also more like, oh yeah, remember that thing? So
Yeah.
like the premises are being set up for that. It's like I forgot who mentioned it. Where like in chapter 3, you mentioned that a weapon was hidden. Chapter 13, you get the weapon that was hidden, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I I just like I think it's hard to write. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
Writing's hard.
I've tried writing. It is hard to write because of how much you want to write. So I understand for the writers, this isn't me being an absolute total hater.
He
We
hates
also have
you.
to acknowledge writing is hard.
Writing is tough.
Like writing everything that we're mentioning of like, well, this should have happened. You're talking in hindsight at the same time. As a critic, consider that you're always talking in hindsight because you get to see the final product, but you don't get to see the process of how long it took them to like get to that point.
I will wrap it up, just closing everything, because that kind of ties into our topic in the beginning. Getting famous, getting
True.
getting famous with that aspect, it is hard. It's easy to do something what someone has done before, but creating the new thing is something that's so difficult. And like for writers, you have to create like that new aspect to keep people on their toes. Yeah, like for content, you need to keep like that new thing, like what's popular, what are people enjoying, and such like that. But the overall aspect of it is something that's so challenging. And like you said, it's so easy for us to be like, dude, they could have done this, right? There's
Yeah.
so many like stories I've played, by the way, where like I'm so amazed at a character and I leave off with being like, they could have done so much more though. Like they're so
Yeah.
perfect. But like they could have been even more perfect. But honestly, the feeling of like I wish I had more is something that's really exciting, whether it be in the fame industry or just in the movie writing industry,
Yeah,
where like
as a
you
critic,
want
right?
to, yeah, yeah, you're excited for that
Wanting
feeling,
that more.
yeah,
You're right.
dude, it's like
Big
being
fan.
hungry for that stuff. That's crazy.
That's
Cause
true. Yeah.
yeah, cause like
It's like an
I'm like,
appetite.
because just like how you said, like Spider-Man 2 was sick and it was peak. Can I see it again? We need to we got to have
Yeah.
something new like that makes that experience again in that terms of writing.
The Dark Knight series
Oh yeah,
2 as well.
that shit was good.
It's crazy how like 2 was actually for both of those series actually absolute peak of them.
Hmm.
Where like normally it's like the first movie or the third movie
Yeah,
or something, but like in for both of these series that were I think filmed in the same era, hey, you gotta watch the second movie, bro. Like
yeah, yeah,
just like make sure to watch the first one just to get the backstory, and then like watch the second one because it's absolute peak. Because like the Joker was absolute peak, Doctor Octavius was absolute peak, right? And then the third one, it's like yeah, don't watch that. We're
yeah.
like, I think for both of them, it's a little bit of like yeah, I don't want to watch that one.
You're like so two is perfection, and they try to carry the momentum, but in the wrong way, the wrong way.
All right, if you know, you know. What do you think, Hyping? You know.
Yeah, you know.
All right, guys, we're out. Thank you for watching, and sorry for the long mixed rants here.
We will be getting socials. I will be trying to post them in descriptions.
Yeah, true,
Okay, I will be trying
true,
that.
true.
Anyways, please follow us, subscribe if you enjoy it, let us know what you want us to talk about. And thanks for watching, guys.